We are live. We are live. We are live. Hey, all, Art Thibert here, coming to you live from Hack Shack Studios in beautiful Southern California. It's a little overcast today. I think we're going to get some rain. I feel the need to report what the weather's like right now. I'm a weatherman coming to you live from Chapter 1. Hey guys, how are you? I am going to spend an hour or so trying to finish up my black and white head doodles that I offered on Black and White campaign. So this should be the last of it. I think I only have 3 or 4 more to do. I think there were 30, close to 30 that I did total. So those are all done with the exception. Let me see. I've got 1, 2, 3, yeah, and 4. The one that I started here on the drawing board now. So Shinto is always the first in. How are you, brother? What is up? Gaming or what? Trademark Hail. Hail, what's up? Am I yelling? I'm excited. I'm excited. Yo, Art, stop yelling. All right, man. I got my brush all warmed up. I'm going to get into this. I'm going to see how much of this I can get done before lunch. So my wife's out getting her hair done, and we're going to go out to lunch after that. So let me see how much I can get done for you guys. So, one of the things, too, about these head drawings, a few of you have mentioned that you wanted one to add to your black and white book. And if you still want that, well, I've actually, a couple of them already went out. So I have actually fulfilled some of those. But if you want one of these, let me know. And while I'm in this kind of mode, I can work you up one. I think there's been three people so far that have wanted one added. So if you want one, at this point, it wouldn't be any problem to work up a couple more. Just throwing that out there. Just an option. I aim to please. So just got off of Clint Stoker of Dracula fame, and his Sweetcast, Downcast book. It's actually Downcast, not Sweetcast, is doing really, really good. So we were on his channel launching that sucker, and he's doing really, really good. So if you haven't checked it out, you should go do so. Yeah, it looks really strong. There's a Kelsey Shannon variant cover, which is pretty cool looking. So hung out with those guys this morning. So now I'm feeling like I need to catch up. I was kind of drawing during that stream, but it's hard to spend too much focus while you're hanging out. It's a little tough. And I did get a little bit of drawing on Chrono this morning, too. I did. It's a rough drawing. You can't really see, of the Bichosaurus. So this is what a dinosaur looks like when it cries. So that's my second shot at it. I'm not sure if I completely am in love with it, but after lunch, I'll evaluate it. And if I like it, I'll ink it up. Yeah. So there's a character, a T-Rex character that I refer to as a Bichosaurus. And when you read the Chrono story, you'll know exactly why. You'll know exactly why. And if you are new and just tuning in and wondering what the heck I'm talking about, I have been doing comic books for 35 years, 35 plus years. It'll be 36 this year. So yes, I am old. So get those old jokes out of the way. And I have broke away from Marvel and DC and am now trying my hand at this crowdfunding venture that these wacky kids are doing these days. So I'm creating my own IP and crowdfunding these things, which is pretty exciting, pretty daunting, pretty exhausting, but I'm having the time of my life doing it. And for somebody that's kind of been doing this as long as I have, it's fun to try to do something unique and different outside of my wheelhouse, as they say. And this is pretty outside of my wheelhouse. But like I said, it's a lot of fun. So Black and White, which are the characters I'm drawing right now, I did a crowdfund last year for this book, and it was quite successful. You guys, thank you so much to all who have supported the book. And so I think my wife right now is she's getting her hair done, but she also had to go pick up some more not chrono, but black and white prints, because we were kind of stiffed from one of our vendors, from one of our printers. So they didn't ship us enough of the what are they called? The mini prints, yeah. So she's picking those up, and she dropped a batch of pages off at the post office as well. So I'm going to work up till she gets back, and then we'll grab some grub. We'll get our grub on. But I want to try to stay as transparent as possible so you guys can see the process and the progress of a lot of this crowdfund stuff. So what I'm doing right now were offered in the campaign as head sketches. So they were going to be in the book, but I thought, this is way better paper, and I can give you a better drawing by doing them separate like this. And also you can put this in, like, I know that some people collect artwork and they have books with all their like con sketches and stuff in them. So I thought if it was separate from the book, would be more unique and better in a way. So that's why they're not in the book. They're this way, and I can do a better quality drawing too. These are way beyond the head doodle or head sketch that I had originally offered or talked about. So there's a lot more work involved with these than just a normal like head sketch or whatever that they offer. As you can see, they take a little bit more time, and there's a little bit more care involved. So yeah, so if you guys want one of these, let me know, and I'll work one up for you. So I did this a year ago, and so what I have right now is another campaign, which is called Chrono Mechanics, which is a complete departure from this campaign and style. So it's more of a cartoon, like an adult cartoon style. I'll show it to you later. And it's more comedy based, less kind of 90s, action adventure, which is what Black and White is. And it involves time travel and time repairing. So I'm very, very proud of Chrono Mechanics. And like I said, in demand right now. So the initial campaign has run, and so now we're in demand. And if you don't know what in demand is, it's like a store, it's like a shop. And so a lot of these crowdfund, you can have, like a 30-day campaign, a 60-day campaign, kind of thing. And so we ran our campaign, and so now on Chrono, there's a shop open, so you can still get the book, and that's a great option to have. So it will stay open. The Chrono will stay open until we go to print, and then we'll figure it out after that. But most likely we'll close it at that point. So yeah, and it's looking really good. I'm working on that Bitchosaurus that I showed you earlier. That is page 49. So if it was only a 48-page book, which was originally offered as, we would be done with the book right now. Well, at least the initial line art would be done with, we still have the lettering and some of the coloring that needs to be done, but all the line art would be done. But thanks to you guys, we worked a little bit harder, and we upped it from 48 pages to 54 pages. And now we are up to 60 pages. So you guys have earned and worked towards an extra 60 pages of content. And that's story content. That's not like little bonuses or anything like that. That's like, new story pages. So all those 12 pages will enhance the entertainment. You get more entertainment value for the buck. And it didn't really cost you anything more. I mean, that's what's great about the stretch goals is we work towards a goal, and then if we fulfill it together, you guys get free stuff. So in this case, you get 12 additional story pages, which is pretty freaking killer. And I laid them out, the 12 pages. And so we're working on bringing those together right now. So it's all coming together in a faster way than I had originally thought. So I'm real happy with that. I don't want to jinx it, because anything could happen. But as it is now, it's looking really good to get it out a little earlier than originally thought. So that's really good. That'll make me feel good, because one of the my main focus is on these Indiegogos right now is to try to get things done faster for you guys, so I can get more product out there and I can entertain you guys more than maybe just one book a year, which actually with Chrono, technically I got 2 books. Well, they're not out, but there's 2 books that one of them's going out and the other one will be going out within a couple months. So it's kind of the idea is to see, because I can't even, like I would like to do 3-4 books a month, or not a month, but a year. But I got to kind of figure out realistically where in what I can do. I remember hearing, I think Todd McFarlane was talking, and he was talking about juggling balls, and he was saying like a good juggler knows how many balls he can keep up in the air. I know, you guys, balls, it's funny, but at one time. So, and then his analogy is if you have one too many balls in the air that you can't handle, then everything just falls apart. Like you drop everything. So the key is to find out how many balls you can juggle at one time. So I'm still at that stage to figure out what my parameters are, like what I can realistically do and what I can't do. So, and the only way you can figure that out is by doing and gauging your speed in a realistic way. So that's the stage I'm at right now, because I have the follow-up to black and white. So I have volume 2 that's planned. And when I have spare time, which I usually don't, but when I make time, I have, what do I have? I have at least 5 pages that are loosely laid out for that book. So that's pretty good. And I have a cover that it's either going to be, because I'm still playing with the idea of doing a volume 2 kind of newsprint book, but I haven't had time to do any of the research. So I don't know if like practically, like in a practical way, what I'm even looking at for my finances. So I may be reissuing volume 1 as a newsprint. I'm still not sure, but at some point there will be a I will I'll be offering, I guess is a better way to say, I'll be offering black and white again. So anybody that's missed out on the original black and white campaign, I will do another one. But my next campaign, which should be, I'm hoping next month, there's a lot of delays. There's like certain things that have to be done first before you can do other things, like a logical order. And so I'm going to do with Dynamic Forces, I'm going to do a black and white Vampirilla variant cover. And so right now, I'm not sure where they're at, like Dynamite is at, but I'm pretty sure that they've already got the campaign pretty much built. So we just have to plug the artwork in. And so right now, the art is done. I've showed it on some of the other streams, and it's with Kyle Ritter. So Kyle is doing the color on it. But if you guys haven't heard, Kyle had a little bit of a health setback, which is horrible. And he spent some time in the hospital. I think he's home now, which is good. So I'm happy for that. And so take care of your health, you guys. Comics are important and they're fun, but we shouldn't. I don't really know what led up to it. So I know that usually when comic book artists get sick, it's because they're overworked and stressed out. So I'm not really sure what led up to Kyle's health problem, but I'm glad he's home and I'm glad he's feeling better now. So I think as soon as he gets the cover done, then we will go into launch mode. And by that point, realistically speaking, we should have all the black and white books out, because I believe Pamela, my wife, who's doing the fulfilling, she's also my writing partner, and she was the editor on black and white. That she said there's like 325 books left or something like that. So there's not a lot of books, black and white books left to ship. So the good thing is by the time we get black and white, the Vampirilla black and white Indiegogo up, should be about the same time that the last black and white books will be going out. So I just want to assure you guys that I'm not getting in over my head and that all this stuff will come out. And the good thing about the Vampirilla variant, black and white Vampirilla, is that it's already done. Like the artwork's done. So it's not going to take any more of my time. So, and I believe, I don't really know all the details, but I believe that Dynamite is going to fulfill that. It's not going to be us. So that won't be any more time out of my schedule. So I can start, I can finish up Chrono, and then I can start full time on Black and White Volume 2, which, man, I don't know if there's any artists out there that have multiple projects and things that they want to do, but it is nerve-wracking to have all these ideas in your head and not have the time to do them all. You know, that you have to finish what's in front of you and then move forward in a logical progression. But you know, the creativity doesn't stop. Like, you know, you keep thinking of all these other things that you'd like to do and that you want to do and that you want to keep moving forward on new projects, but you have to get the one, you know, finished that's in front of you before you move forward. And that's just the reality of it. So it gets kind of like, it gets frustrating from a creative standpoint sometimes, because there's so much you want to do, and there's just the reality of it. The time reality of it is it's a drag. It is a drag, but I'm really happy right now. I think, you know, creating comic books for you guys, getting them out there is a great joy, man. I really enjoyed doing, you know, the assembly line stuff at Marvel and DC. That was a lot of fun. But man, when you guys send me, like you guys have been tweeting and putting stuff up on Facebook and on Instagram, I love seeing it. I love hearing, you know, like, got my book today. It looks great. You can't wait to read it and things like that. And there's been a couple reviews that have come in and all favorable. And it's just, it's different. It's way more satisfying, actually, because you've done everything on it. You know, you created it, you wrote it, you penciled it, you inked it, you art directed the coloring on it. You know, there's a lot of different, there's a different different stakes in it. And it is way more satisfying from a creative standpoint. And I'm really liking hanging out with you guys and drawing for you and showing you all the different stuff that we have planned here at Hack Shack. Yeah, it's awesome. So there's another one. So I think this is my last one, unless you guys order one, and then I'll be back here tomorrow doing more for you guys. But yeah, so Chrono right now is in demand, and I think we got some traction this morning. So that's always good when you wake up and you get a couple books that you're getting into, a couple more books that you're getting into people's hands. That's the main thing, man, is getting them into your hands. You know, I know these are pre-orders, but eventually getting them into your hands and having you read them and tell me what you think. Because I have so many more story ideas for Black and White and for Chrono. And then I've teased this, and I have a lot of doodles around here, just like ideas and stuff. And I have an idea for a new project, a brand new project. And I'm going to debut the project on my art book cover. So I'm going to do another Oodles, like Oodles of Doodles 2. And I'm looking for I guess a designer to put the book together. So I'm talking to Wilson Ramos, but if Wilson's in the chat, I don't know if I can afford you, man. I'm not sure how much money I'm going to make. So if you guys know anybody that, can put stuff together, like an art book, do graphic work, things like that, let me know. Because as soon as I can find somebody, I can start sending artwork their way. Because I don't know for sure, but I think I have enough artwork for another volume. So that's also in the plans right now. I had a little pausing moment there. So the plan right now is the Vampirilla variant with Black and White, a Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff too art book, like a follow-up, and some kind of Black and White reissue or maybe a newsprint version or something like that, but something because there's been a lot of people that have they missed out on the first campaign, and they're like, I want a copy of the book. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that in a realistic way. So I'm going to do some kind of reissue, whether a newsprint or I'm not sure yet. And then, of course, volume 2 of the Black and White story. So that's my plans for the coming year. And man, I can't believe I just looked at the date this morning, and we're already, what is it? The 21st of January. I can't believe how quick time is moving. I feel like everything that I do is in slow motion. Yeah, I'm barely keeping up with everything. But I am keeping up with it, so that's good. And like I said, it's all a learning process. So I'm trying to figure out how many balls I can juggle. Yep. So it's still trying to figure things out on how to run these things in a more efficient way. Last year was a big learning experience. Yeah. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I feel like I have to do everything wrong first before I learn how to do it right. So I just make a bunch of missteps, and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's how to do it. All right. I'm going to let some of the ink dry. I guess I should, before I finish this up, clean out my brush, go to the chat. I've been ignoring you guys, trying to get work done. So when my wife gets here, I can just take off. Oh man, you guys have been busy. I'm going back in time in the chat here. Mark C, what's up? Wow, you guys have been busy. This is good. This is good. All these familiar faces. Oh, Kevin's in the chat. Nighthawk Warrior. Skits. What's up, Skits? Skits is my new favorite comic skater. Oh man, I'm glad I'm going back. I'm going to read this before it goes away. Sometimes like the earlier ones go away. So thank you, Mark C. $5. Pittsburgh. It's, oh my gosh, 22 degrees. Question. When doing a large background in black, what type of ink do you use? I just use the same type of ink. Yeah, so this is my weapon of choice, just Pelikan drawing ink. And it covers really, really well. And some people, they used to mix their ink. I used to mix inks. I used to try all kinds of different stuff. But to be honest, it just straight out of the bottle, Pelikan is the best. It just out of the bottle, no fooling around, no letting it, because sometimes like an old trick would be you'd get your ink bottle. This is when they came in an old well, not this like little pour top. They were open. Ooh, they were open on top. Where you could dip the pin in, and like with Higgins and stuff, you'd leave it open overnight. Like if you're going to use that bottle, you'd open it up and let it breathe overnight. And what it would do is like a lot of the water would evaporate. So you would have thicker ink. And that was Higgins. Higgins is really oily and watery. And it's good for dry brushing or like watercolor type, not dry brushing, but more like watercolor type of transparencies and stuff. But to ink like the way I'm inking, you don't want anything like that. So yeah, the Pelikan is the best as far as I'm concerned. So we have, oh man, the oldest joke in the book, but it still gets a rise out of me. How you doing, Jalapeno Milk? We have Jared Boback. How are you, brother? Ooh, comics legend. I always want to say comic book legend. Is there a comic book legend in Comicsgate? I don't know. Do you think Cecil's campaign will pass Corona Mechanics on funding? Probably. Well, he's been setting that thing up for like a year and a half too. So yeah, he's got a lot of support too. He's got a ton of support for that book from all the different Comicsgate creators and things. Sometimes I feel like Chrono is out in the sea, little life raft, out, fending for itself. But it's doing pretty good, and it's not over yet. So we have Peter. Peter, hello, Ink Master. Thank you. How do I get one? Is this for the drawing? Just I have a website. It's called artbythibert.com. Go there and there's a contact, and that will go directly to my emails. If you try to DM me through Twitter or Facebook, sometimes I don't see that stuff. But if you go through the website, it will, it'll land right in my email, and I can get back to you. So yeah, just send me an email and let me know that you're interested in one of these drawings, and let me know today, because then I can do you up one later while I'm in the flow. So Title 10, Thank you, Pamela, for the books. I received my black and white a few days ago. Yeah. I think you posted on Twitter. I think I retweeted. So thank you, Title. I hope you enjoy the book. Yeah, it was a labor of love. God, I can't wait to where I can start doing some spoiler stuff because I want to talk about the book and get into the story. Maybe I'll do a story hour or something, like a behind the scenes, maybe some dramatic reading, because I'm very proud of that book. Very, very proud of that book. Hey, yeah. Hi, yeah. Ho, yeah. Hey there, hi there, ho there. Hey there. Chrono Baby. Yes, Chrono Baby. All right. So we got Nighthawk Warrior. He's quite a celeb in these chats. So how you doing, brother? My favorite person of all time, Kevin. How are you? Do. All right. Benjamin. How are you, Benjamin? Black and White arrived a few days ago. Thank you. It's brilliant. Oh, you are very much welcome. And like I said, more books are going out today. We couldn't get books out yesterday because it was a holiday, but more books are going out today. And I believe there's a little over 300 books left. So if you haven't got your black and white book, they are still going out. And so the head sketch ones are obviously going to be going out because I think this is the last of them that you're looking at right now. So once they get this done, they will be done and going out, except for who was it? Was it Gaming or what? Was he the one that was inquiring? I think. I'm not sure. But Skits is in the house. So in terms of regular comic price, that is $5 per issue versus $4 mainstream comics. So a bargain. I'm not sure what Cam is talking about. I call that a bargain. The best I ever had. Or how do you create? How did you create black and white? That. Let me see if I might come back to that while I'm inking. Oh, I think I got a Skit says I'm a 5-ball guy. Yeah, I'm not sure what my ball count is yet. Okay, so some people are asking what black and white is about. Okay. I'll stick with my 2-ball juggling. He's a 2-ball man. Maybe plate spinning is a better analogy. Yeah, but Todd's the one who said balls, man. I'm pretty sure he said balls. So I'm just repeating what the great McFarlane has said. Yeah, I hope Kyle gets better soon as well. Oh, he's a vapor? Oh, okay. Yeah, some people think vaping is better for you. I don't think that's true. Okay, so I believe I did. So thanks, Mark. Thank you so much. And yes, please hit the like button. I do appreciate that. It helps. It helps the algorithm. Hello, Comics Legend. I should keep these up longer. I just click on them really fast, and then I just click out of them. Hey, Art, what's up? How you doing? Oh, yes. Smash it again. Keep smashing. We have Zaid Comics. If you guys didn't see, I had Philip and Brandon, the Diaz, a.k.a. Zaid brothers, on the show yesterday on a Hacks Chats interview. And they're a lot of fun to hang out with. And they were promoting and explaining what their new book is, which is called Magic Cop. And it was pretty cool. pretty interesting concept. So go back and check that out. I think it was yesterday. Oh, cool. Got my black and white as I posted on Twitter. Love it. Cool. Thank you. And thank you for posting it up. I do appreciate it. I really like the way you draws the women's. Thank you, man. It's all good. It's all fun. Whoa, what is this? Almost in class with the Boner King. I don't know. We're talking about balls and boners in this chat. Yep, same hack channel, same hack time. We can't wait for ours. Oh, is that black and white or Chrono Mechanics? Hi, Art and chat. Not my monkeys, not my circus. Oh, there you go. Same hack channel, some hack time, same hack network. Yes. Oh, you guys are so funny. That's awesome. Man, there's what is his name? Let me see if I got a tab. No, I don't. Wait, maybe. Hold on. Let's get this guy's name. If there's any old fogies out there in the chat, I think his name is Johnny Back or Bake, Baak. I think that's him, and he does these. He does these rundowns of like old TV shows and movies. I mean, they're pretty in depth, and they're only like, God, I don't even know if they're an hour long, but they're really good. And he did one on Batman, and he did a couple, but he went into even the old serialized. I guess they were before like matinees or whatever at the movie theater. Do they call them shorts or just matinee shorts? He goes into that, and the whole Batman coming out of to get to the Batcave, going into the clock, like you know how the big grandfather clock opens up, and then he goes to the Batcave from there. That was actually, they said it was in that serialized Batman movie stuff. And so I didn't know that. So I love hearing about, the evolution of some of these ideas and where they came from. And so he said that's where that came from. And I don't know. I love that stuff. Okay, let me see. Will we be able to get the first one? Also, I think I only maybe have 10 of those books left, and most of them have head sketches in them. So I may be offering those, but they'll be at a premium price for sure. So there may be some in that campaign. So let's see. I see Tag. Why can't Tag do it? Didn't she do the first book? Are you talking about writing the second volume or doing the layout stuff for the art book? Either way, I think she wants to go in a different direction. So I'm not sure what her comics affiliation is with anything. So I think she's doing tattoo art right now. So I think she's just going in a completely different direction. What? Art isn't reading the chat. Can you design it for your art? Wait, what did I miss? I don't know. I can't keep up. Wait a minute. What is going on here? Art, read the super chat. Was there another super chat? Wait, where am I? You're getting old. It's normally being slow. Holy shit. What time is this? 12:20. I'm still way back in the chat here. I need to catch up. I'm in a time loop. Dang it. We need to get Art to blast by 50K. Yes, let's get Art to blast past 50K on Chrono Mechanics. So please go out, back Chrono Mechanics. Listen to this man. And listen to this man. These guys know what they're talking about. We have Adam friended. Smash it an odd number of times, though. Yes, smash. Hulk smash. Boner King. What is going on here? I think I'm caught up. Yes. Yeah, that's a real it's getting more apparent as I go on that I am not reading the chat. We have Blue Sea Hill. Are you ever going to sell Blast? I talked about it earlier. I'm not sure if I'm going to reissue it as a newsprint version or just reissue the original volume 1 with all the bells and whistles. So I'm trying to figure that out right now. But my next campaign is going to be a black and white Vampirilla variant cover that I've already done the artwork, and it's with Kyle Ritter right now getting the colors done. So that's going to be my next campaign, and it will probably be mid next month, I'm thinking. February? Yes, mid-February. I backed today. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. That was very nice of you, man. So I think he's talking about Chrono Mechanics. And when you smash the like button twice, it turns it off. Yes, so don't smash it twice. No twice smashing, because then there's no point to it. I don't know. Sometimes I get clicker mania. I just start clicking crazy. All right, blue lines. Yes, nice. Okay, I think I'm caught up. So somebody asked me about black and white. So black and white is an IP I did in '94 for Image Comic Books, and we sold so many of these books. It's pretty crazy. So since '94, the idea never went away. Like, I kept thinking of ways to get it going again. But let me back up even further. We tried to do an ongoing series, but the market in '95 kind of fell apart. So we really couldn't afford to do the book, to do the follow-up ongoing, even though I think there's 3 issues of it that exist somewhere. But we weren't able to financially make it happen. So I had to go back to Marvel Comics, which was not easy to do after the big Image, after leaving Image the way I did and we did. So it never went away. The idea never went away. So over the 25 years, I guess, since then, I kept trying to figure out ways to bring it back. And so I did various versions. I would work on, after I got my ink stuff done at Marvel and DC. So none of that really stuck. I couldn't really get it to work. And then when Taylor Grosso started work at the studio, I gave her copies of the original black and white, the '90s version. And she said that she absolutely loved it. She loved the tone of it and everything. So it got me thinking that maybe, doing some kind of reissue of the book would be a good idea. So kind of like a reissue, like remastering, where I would kind of clean up the artwork and bring it up to like a more, contemporary standard, because the '90s was still kind of newsprint and Digital stuff was coming up, but it still was pretty much in its infancy. So it wasn't great, the production. And so I thought that's what I would do. And the creative process being what it is, I kept thinking how we could make the book better and better and better. So we were adding pages. The remastering became almost complete redraws. There's a lot. I think every one of those pages is pretty much, there's parts of it that have been completely redrawn. So it's not as much of a remastering as just like completely redone. And so that's kind of the birth of doing the crowdfund version. But the origin of the story was my wife and I, in the 90s, we had crazy money. So we used to go to these estate auctions, like Sotheby's and is it Christie's, or I forget what else, auction house. And we used to get like collectibles, like animation cells and movie props and all kinds of stuff. And so this was the Bruce Lee auction, estate auction, and it had his wife and his child, and they were just like basically auctioning off, Bruce Lee stuff. And I'm a big like Green Hornet guy. Like I love the Green Hornet. I loved it when I was a kid. And they had some like throwing stars and some different things from the Green Hornet. I think they had his hat and some of those like throwing stars. They look like little what do they look like? They were like this, and then they had like a bee, and then like this, but they were like throwing daggers or whatever. So these are the wings, the body, and then like this was like, I guess that would stick into things. And so I wanted that really bad, and just for that one in the catalog was $800. So I knew, like auctions always go for more than the listed price. So I had a budget of like $1,000, right? I was going to spend $1,000 on this stupid throwing star thing. Let me click my camera off here. And so finally, number whatever comes up. I have my paddle, so I'm registered. I can, be part of this auction. So I'm feeling like a big shot, right? This is going to be my thing, right? So I'm getting oh man, it's next. This is going to be cool. So this is number whatever, 27. And this is the Bruce Lee, throwing star from, Green Hornet, 1967, whatever. And so I'm thinking, yes, this is going to be mine. So the auction, the guy's like, all right, let's begin the bidding. The bidding went by so fast. Like I didn't even get my paddle up. Like that's how fast it went. It went past my $1,000 budget. Like that. Like it was, I blinked and it was done. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the worst. And then so I'm looking at my wife and I'm thinking, should we go up higher? Like, what should we do? But as we're trying to figure out what our budget is on this thing and what it's worth to us, this thing is just going on and on and on, like in increments of 100, then increments of, I don't know if they go up to 1,000, but they change increments at certain thresholds. And so this thing is going well beyond anything that's even comprehensible as far as what it's worth. And that was the start. So on the way home, I'm kind of disappointed, didn't get my, my Green Hornet collectible. So then I just started thinking about what the Green Hornet meant to me. And so the Green Hornet, I always loved, that they have a car, the Black Beauty, and that it's a team, it's a partnership, and that the ruse is that this guy's a newspaper reporter, and all this. Well, he owns a newspaper, actually. Brett Reed owns a newspaper, and so I just like the dynamic, and I always liked Batman, and I love James Bond. So we just started talking about these things, and I was like, and this is before like Kevin Smith. This is 26 years ago or whatever, 25 years ago. And I was like, well, what if Bruce Lee was a female character? And I said, wouldn't that be cool? Like if you were watching, like if this was a TV show that was right now, and you had like the female equivalents of a Bruce Lee, and you could watch her on TV every week, doing crazy ass like karate shit. Wouldn't that be cool? And so then we just started talking, and so then Black and White just came out of that conversation on the way back from Hollywood, back home. And so then Black and White was pretty much formed at that moment in time. So it was just kind of amalgam of all those things I like. And the whole yin yang thing came from, that they're equal partners, but they're kind of opposites. Like they're equal in the partnership, but they're equal good and bad. And so that kind of was the origins of it. And so I have a friend, his name's John Peterson. He was big time editor at DC Comics. He later became editor-in-chief of Wildstorm Comics, which I introduced him to Jim Lee. You're welcome, John. You're welcome. And so he and I started talking about it after, Pamela and I kind of had an idea of what it was going to be. And so we just started fleshing it out. And so he became the editor on the book. And I think he got credit and paid for it. But he was still working at DC was he working at Wildstorm? I think he was either leaving DC or just starting at Wildstorm at that time. So yeah, it just started kind of building into what it was in '94. And so I remember it seemed like it was all happened within like a few days of itself. And so then, Rob Liefeld came into my office. I worked at Extreme Studios in those days. So I had an office at Extreme, and he came in, he goes, Art, he said, you're doing these covers for me and you're inking everybody at the studio. He said, I want to give you your own book. If I gave you your own book, what would you do? Would you want to do that? And I said, yeah, I would love to. Thank you. And I said, I have these characters. They're called Black and White. And he said, Black and White. I love it. He goes like the Jackson song. And then he just walked out. Like that was his seal of approval. He's like Black and White. I love it. Like the Jackson song. Yes. And so then I got the green light to do it at Image Comics. And yeah, it was amazing. It was an amazing time. So then now the pressure was on to do the book. And so then we put out the book, and it sold gangbusters, man. It sold gangbusters. I kid that it paid for my house, but it pretty much did. They were good times. Yeah, they were very, very good times. So that's kind of the origin. It's not really the concept, but that's the origin of the creation of Black and White anyways. So I'm reading the chat, you guys. I'm focusing this time. I got my work done. So yeah, the main female character reminds me of Bruce Lee. Exactly. I mean, it's a Bruce Lee prototype, but she is not clear-headed. Like Bruce Lee's character, the Kato character, was very, very calm in that story. White Whitney Sung is not, man. She is ballistic. She is trouble. And in the first issue, you realize how much trouble. But she also kind of moves the story forward because she's just kind of a force. Like she's a natural like disaster, like she just kind of moving the story forward. And so Reed, aka Blackett, Reed Blackett, aka Black, is he's an ex-British spy, and so he's trying to basically, like, he's retired. He's kind of had a life of being a spy. The morality is kind of questionable. He's lost his taste for killing, for doing all those shady things. And so he just is trying to get back into the private sector. So then he meets this damsel in distress, or so he thinks, and tries to help her, but then realizes that she really isn't a damsel in distress. He just kind of has to aim her in the right direction, help focus her anger and her rage in the right direction. And so that's kind of the yin, the yang. So she's actually kind of the more ballistic one, and he's the calm in the storm. So then he kind of comes out of retirement, but not as a spy, but as a vigilante. So they kind of become a vigilante team. So the black and white comes out of, like, it's a metaphor or a way of dispensing justice. So the tagline is, in a world where law and order is often blurred to gray, justice can only be black and white. So the reason he gets involved is on his terms. Like, he doesn't want to be a cop. He doesn't want to be a spy. He doesn't want to be military. He wants to be able to do something on his terms, in a way that he doesn't have to compromise his morality. So in his eyes, true justice, not, there's gray area in the world. This isn't like, it's called black and white, but it isn't the simple resolve, like there's only one way of doing things. But true justice can only be black and white. So he's one of those characters that can actually see through the bullshit, and he can kind of see things at their truest, most basic form, and he can distill it down to what is true justice. So he's a very moral, upright guy, even though he came from a really questionable background. So what haunts him is the crap that he had to do when he worked for the British Secret Service. So he's kind of like James Bond, but with a conscience. He's a character that can no longer stomach taking orders without questioning them. And the questions are what got him into trouble to begin with, and why he left the MI10. And the MI10 is a future, like, there's MI6, which is basically James Bond, but there was a division of the British Secret Service which was called MI10, and it was during the war times, and they were like research and development. They were R&D for the British Secret Service. And so I brought that back as an idea because black and white is a future tense story. It's not contemporary. So it's not in the far, far future. It's in kind of our future, maybe 20, 30 years from now. And so robots and things like that are mainstay. They're part of society. So what he did was he was kind of James Bond-ish, but he was a robot fighter as well. So he understood the psychology of robots, how they work, how they function, and how to fight them and take them down. So he's basically a robot fighter. And so one of the backdrop of black and white is that they become robot fighters. She gets trained. They get suits that they can actually withstand certain aspects of a battle with a robot. They can take a hit from a robot. They can take a blast, certain things. It enhances their strength, their agility, their speed, so that's why they have the suits. And yeah, without giving away too much of like the story itself, that's kind of black and white. And I can't wait to get back into volume 2 of it because I just love these characters. I love the world. And yeah, so let me go back to the chat here. Cool. Anyway, keep up the art and peace out. And peace pit chat. Peace pit. The pit chat. He's out. He is out and out and out. Man, that's quite a goodbye. That's like a threesome. Like Doom, doom, doom. Boom, boom, boom. All right, you guys. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up. So I'm going to give you one last look at what I've been doing. And there's been a few people in the chat that have inquired about these doodles. So if there's anybody that would like one of these, let me know soon, and I can work one of these up for you guys. So this is black and white pen and brush as far as the ink is concerned. And if you want, go back in some of my video history, and there's other videos where I do some of the artwork as well. So you can get more of a comprehensive view of how this came together. So thanks, you guys. And yeah, once again, if you want one of these, go through my website. So the website is artbythibert.com. And also there's a letter, like you can sign up for my newsletter there. And so, yeah, go check out and sign up for the newsletter. I had been announcing things there first with the campaigns and stuff. But with YouTube now, it seems like it's redundant. So usually things come out first as far as my YouTube channel, and then other of my, I'm sorry, you guys, my media, my social media. But sign up anyway, because the thing that still goes first and foremost is you have access to sales. So sometimes I have sales on my prints. I have discounts on my artwork, and the first place that I always announce for commission work when I open my commissions list is always on that newsletter. So there still is exclusive content or heads up before even my YouTube channel. So it's still pretty cool to be part of. And just as far as getting information before anybody else, that's the best way to do it. I saw something that, Kevin says, having the yin yang symbol with the crosshairs in the logo was a stroke of genius. Thank you, man. I think it says so much about these characters in just a simple graphic. So thanks for that, man. I appreciate it. And you know what? I should show you. I was talking about putting another campaign together where I reissued the book, and I was thinking of maybe, because these were all the stretch goals, like the trading card. Let me pour this stuff out here, and all of this stuff. Let me see here. So this is what Kevin's talking about. So this is the yin yang, and this is a patch. So you can sew this on your jacket or your backpack. And so then we had a sticker. It says "stick it to the bots." So that's what Whitney says. And then here is the MI10 Robotics Division patch. So yeah, this is what Reed Blackett used to be part of, the anti-robotics. And so then there's 3 pins in a pack, collector pins or buttons. And so then, yeah, there's the trading card here as well. So I was thinking that maybe I would offer, like I would how do you say it? Like re-offer or offer the book again. And then maybe instead of these as stretch goals, just put these in the campaign. So make them part of, like, if you bought the book, you would get the stretch goals, but you would pay for the stretch goals, because it's not fair, to the people that originally backed the campaign. But this way you could have access to all the campaign goodies. And so I was thinking of doing that. So it would be like offering the book, and maybe even this book. I don't know how many I printed up, This is kind of a rarity. I just found an article. Somebody wrote an article, and they said that this might be the rarest Greg Capullo cover ever, just because of the low print run of it. So this is the Greg Capullo variant. So I might even reissue this in the, not reissue, but just let you have access to it again. I got to work on that title. The reissue campaign. I don't know. It sounds pretty horrible. But yeah, we'll basically bring these back and give you guys access to them, and possibly have a premium package where you can get all the stretch goal goodies as well. So that could be a lot of fun. Hey, we got Philip Steele, my buddy from Texas. What did we pay for, or what did we pay for the Keaton cow? I don't, it was a lot. It was like 10 grand. It was $10,000. And if you guys want to know what Philip's talking about, I bought the Michael Keaton cowl from Batman Returns, and I have it on my bookshelf here. It's across from me. It's too big to put on the camera right now, or I would show it to you. But yeah, so I didn't get that at an auction though, but the same people that pretty much furnish collectibles for the auction are the ones I dealt with. But yeah. And Philip, my wife and I have been thinking more and more about possibly moving. So I'm going to be picking your brain about Texas, and realistically find out what the housing prices are and what the lifestyle and all that is all about, because Southern California is becoming freaking crazy. The water rationing, they're penalizing people. They spend too much money on watering. Gas prices keep going up. And I think they also, we're going to have a mileage tax, something like that. So if you go too many miles or above those miles, you get charged. Like they're not like, I don't think they're taxes, but like some kind of like penalty fees or whatever. It's becoming crazy here. I'm absolutely sick to death of it. And also just the traffic. When we moved out where we're at now, 25, 27 years ago, there was no traffic out here. But now, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Motorcycle click sounds, maybe. Yeah, I'm right on the street here, so you might be hearing some street sounds. So Philip Steele, anytime. Yeah, I will. 700. Oh, really? 700,000 people left Cali last year. Did they all go to Texas, though? See, I don't want to hang out with those people. I want to hang out with true Texans. You guys are proud of your state, the Lone Star State. Well, very cool, you guys. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm getting hungry. I'm going to have to call my wife. I figured she'd be back by now. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Most appreciated. It helps the time go by. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. And you guys have a great day. And please, let me leave you with this. Go check out Chrono Mechanics. It's in demand right now. It's a great book, and it's a fun book, action, adventure, humor, time travel. It's got everything. There's something there for everybody. So please go check that out. The link is in the description. So I am out of here. Thanks again, you guys. Have a great day.